Yo, does this thing work? Is my audio on? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. Oh, is there feedback? No? We're good? Hello. Yeah, I think it's working. How's it going? Welcome back. Today we're doing a stream on a Friday instead of a Thursday. I had people last week requesting the European audience, people in different time zones wanting an earlier stream, so I decided to switch it up this week. How's it going? I tried to have a second camera set up today. I was going to put the A6600 on the speedbooster so I could switch to that on the live stream, but it wasn't working. I don't know why. I think I need a new HDMI cable. The micro HDMI ones on those smaller cameras aren't as reliable, so just running off the one cam again today. But we're going to talk about the speed booster a bit, watch that video, all that stuff. Talk about the behind the scenes as usual. Talk future plans for the channel and everything. What's going on in chat? Hello. No name, good to see you here. Is my audio low? My audio was low last week. I think we're good. Let me know if it's a little low. Joshua T. Walker, Chunky Samurai, Kozado, Brantley, Nescap. How's it going? Clear Focus Films, I haven't seen you in a bit. What's up? Metal Rose. Good to see everybody here again. Yeah, we'll see. I'm deciding to mess around with the live stream timing a little bit instead of doing it the same time every week because, I just want to see more people can tune in at different times, all that kind of stuff. We're just going to be hanging out again this week, answering questions, going through the this week's vid, all that. Colt, what is up in the chat? Jewel, where's the aviator headset? It's right here. I don't wear it for the streams because for the streams, since I'm wearing headphones for 3 hours straight, I don't like to have both headphones on because then I can't hear myself as well. And this one is super noise canceling, super tight. So it's not as nice to wear for this purpose. I've been editing with those. And then for live streaming, I like the lighter, cheaper Sennheisers. Better time for me in the UK. Hell yeah. Glad to see some different names up in here in chat today. I want to plug right off the start because I know a lot of people watch these after the fact and kind of skim through. So right at the top, I'm soft launching. Last week, the chat requested for, people kept asking about Patreon and all that, ways to support me. And full transparency, I am running low on money. I need to start making money off of this thing to be able to keep doing, weekly videos and live streams. So I'll announce it officially in a video later with some extra features. But there is a membership website up. It's evanmonsma.com. It's in the description. So if you want to help out, send me a couple bucks. It helps out a lot. So just a plug at the top of the stream for that. I did since last week, those of you that were here last week, I have uploaded all of my videos on there ad-free. So if you're a member, you can watch everything with no ads if you don't have YouTube Premium, all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I still can't join the Discord. Oh yeah, I think your account got hacked at some point. I had to kick your account because it got compromised somehow. I think I can unban you. Let's see. Let me do that for you. Members. Was it Clear Focus Films? Maybe I'll have to do it after stream, but I'll remember to do that. Do some more EOS M Magic Lantern videos. Actually, yes, that is on the short list. There's a lot of stuff on the short list. I was thinking about this last night. I was just plotting through all my video ideas, especially camera stuff. After making the speed booster video, I was super excited to because that speed booster is going to pair really well with some of the other stuff that I'm working on, mods for the A6600 and also like smaller sensor cameras. Because like, you know, the vignetting and the blurriness around the edges is a little rough on APS-C. But when I pair it with like the Insta360 camera that I modded, it's over here somewhere, maybe. Oh, there it is. So the Insta360 camera that I modified can pair really well with this speed booster, which is part of the reason I made it like modular E-mount or micro four thirds. So with this, I can get some of that focal reduction and have my 1-inch sensor be a little bigger, and it looks sick. So the action camera with the micro four thirds speed booster, this is a sick setup. So revisiting of that video, EOS M coming for sure. That's up here right now in one of my little boxes of shame. I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's cooking with him. So it's torn up right now. But what I've gotten is I've found the exact same piece of ribbon cable that they use for the display on this thing, because it's usually a fixed display. So I'm going to build a little hinge mechanism so that it can go up, and that makes it easier to shoot. So I'm going to kind of like build a whole custom back for this camera to allow for a hinging screen. And then I'm also fixing some of the issues that I had with it in the last video. So like I made the whole wood grip to clamp the battery cover shut so that it wouldn't turn off. But now I'm like soldering all that in so it's permanently fixed. And then replacing the ribbons on the control board. That whole thing was messed up. So yeah, whole series of repairs on that. And I'll probably paint the body or something like that. So yes, follow up on ESM video is definitely coming. Follow up on the TinyCam vid. I want to space out the camera videos and the other videos because I know there's a lot of people on my channel that don't necessarily watch the or understand the camera stuff as much. So I'm like doing different kinds of stuff. Where was I? I have YouTube Premium, so I'm glad to support you both ways. Yeah, YouTube Premium helps too. Even just like the regular ad money, like not that ad money does much at my size of channel, but YouTube Premium does pay like 10 times better for one view than it would if you watched an ad without it. Cold, I'm actually running into some trouble adapting an old lens to Sony E-mount right now. Might have to take a book out of your book and make a wooden adapter. That'd be sick. Or 3D printing if you got a buddy that 3D prints, but feel free to message me about it. I'm curious what mount you're trying to adapt. Let's hear more about these A6600 mods. Yeah, so this might be a video, not next week, but maybe the week after, is for the speed booster video. I filmed a whole thing that was making a rig to go shooting with it. But I ended up cutting all of that because I had enough to make it like, it was like a 13, 14 minute video without any of that rigging. So I think that might be a separate video. But if you're on my Instagram, you might have seen this. Oh, snagged. I was trying to set this up as a B cam, but it didn't work for the stream today. But I built this whole rig out of only stuff I had laying around. So it's like pieced together with an old small rig bracket, a cheese plate, some pieces of wood, crazy setup. So there'll be a scrap titled something like my scrap camera rig, or, you know, the spare parts camera rig, something like that. So that's my next A66 video. Because the storyline I was going to go with this speed booster video was making a cool manual focus lens adapter, because that A66 is broken and it only has manual lenses right now. Don't ask why. Definitely wasn't my fault. It definitely was my fault. This is going to make you cringe if you like cameras and like cameras not being broken. I was doing something silly. This was a previous iteration of a speedbooster mod where I was trying to do something where the glass element needed to go way down in there. And so I thought I could trim out some of the plastic to buy myself some extra space, which did work. But then I got a little ballsy with it and screwed up the electronic mounts at the bottom. Classic Evan Monsma shit, you know? Just breaking perfectly good. Well, it wasn't perfectly good. I bought it used. It was already beat up. But so I wanted to make like a manual focus lens adapter that'd be super sick for that thing. The eventual plans with the A66 is going to be like tearing it apart completely, repainting the body, doing some crazy mods on it. I want to make like a 3D printable kit to adapt the micro HDMI to a full-size HDMI, because the micro HDMI just gives me problems every time I want to use it. I mean, that's the reason I don't have a second camera for this stream today, because I spent the last hour trying to get that thing to read, and it will not. So I need to like modify the body to have a full-size HDMI. Would be big. Audio's cutting in and out to silence a little, just FYI. Is it just when I'm talking away from the mic because I'm kind of moving around a lot? Can turn the gain up a touch, but I don't think I have any limiters. Let me check. Filters. No, I don't. I'll just try to get better about talking into the mic. Have you seen the IMC M Lite version? Yeah, he's so sick. I comment on his videos all the time. He's got some crazy ideas. I want to do one project that he did is making a dual mount, because the circumference or the diameter of the E mount and EFM mount is very similar. So he modified an EFM mount flange with a Dremel, and he got it to take EFM or E mount lenses. So it's a dual mount lens, which is so sick. So I'm definitely going to do that to my EOS M, make it be able to take E mount lenses. Although obviously they're not electronic, but who cares about all that, you know? Hello from the UK. Been inspired by your recent videos and currently undertaking a little project to mod my old iPod. Thanks for the inspiration. Hell yeah. Some dank pod stuff. Putting in a big old SSD or something. I've been wanting to do that. I'm trying to slowly cut out use cases for my phone in my life. So like, you know, I replaced the Notes app with a journal that I carry around. I recently got a GPS for my car, which is actually pretty sick. So now I don't have to have like a phone mount or Google Maps or whatever. And it's all satellite, so it works pretty well. But the next step of that is like modding an iPod so that I don't have to use my phone as a music player while I'm driving. Or even like put a cassette player in my car and make a bunch of bootleg cassettes or CDs or something. That'd be sick. But yeah, iPod modding. That's something I would love to hop into. Use Brave browser instead of paying multi-billion Google/YouTube for ads, free viewing, blah, blah, blah. Better to pay creators through Patreon or direct monthly payment like Evan did on his website. True. Yeah, I haven't bothered to set up a different browser, but I've been meaning to try. But yeah, I don't know. I just watch YouTube so much more than I do like Netflix or anything. So the $10 a month for YouTube Premium or whatever it is way better of a deal for me than Netflix. So it's literally like the only monthly subscriptions I have are like Adobe, Spotify, YouTube. Yo, John's in the chat. Hi, Bev. I'm working, but just wanted to pop in and say hi. Hello. What's up? The sun is starting to set, or maybe it's going behind a cloud or something. Let's fix my exposure a little bit. When filming, do you mostly write to SD cards? I saw a video where someone was using a USB-C dock with SSDs, and it made footage exporting look so much easier. Wondering what other pros do. I don't know if I'm a pro, but I do have a strategy, which is my my feeling is, so I film so much. Like whenever I'm working on a project with some other like videographer, I'm shocked at like how much they cut. Like people cut clips so fast and have just so many clips. So it's like when I'm sitting down and I am working on a project for 3 hours, I want 1 3-hour clip instead of a million 90-second clips. Because it's just like you never know what you're going to catch that might be useful. It's just more fun for me in general to build candidly without having to move the camera around and start and stop. So what I do is I plug in my camera exactly like it is now for this stream. I just run it into a capture card, record through OBS. Because, you know, since it's all ending up on YouTube anyway, it gets bit crushed anyway. So there's no point for me to hold a bunch of 100 megabits per second 4K files. So I record I downscale it to 1440p in OBS, and then I just run like super long clips. And also that way with OBS, I can bake in my mics in separate channels to the clip. So like when I'm editing, it'll just be long clip, a channel for the camera audio, a channel for this audio in case I talk into this at any point in the clip, a channel for desktop audio, which I never use, but yeah, it's pretty handy. I found that's the way that ends up getting the videos out fastest for me. And I just have to sit on a lot less gigabytes or terabytes of footage. Watch It Played is in the chat. What's up? Y'all at Gen Con right now? I'm here in Indianapolis just watching the festivities go down, but I'm not, or actually maybe I'll go to it on Sunday or something. Hoping the sewing machine is to stitch the Canadian provinces on your hat. Any tales on what happened to the old chapeau? It's still out here somewhere. I don't know where it is. But I've been like researching hat blanks because I want to do my own hats. So I've just been buying a bunch of different hats, trying to find the ones that are like that fit the most similar to that one that I liked. But yes, one of the hat designs I want to do is very similar to that Canada hat. It's just going to be like Rust Belt, and then it'll have all the Rust Belt states flags on it. That's one of them for the fellow Midwesterners. But there's a couple other designs too. I was actually maybe going to set up the embroidery machine on stream today and see if we can get it to put out some stitches. It's like, will this lens get wide enough? Yes. Right there. The new Brother PE 535 or whatever. It's like $200 on Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully it works. I haven't tested it yet. Audio's good on my end. Sick. Okay. You could easily 3D print a mount like the wood one you just made. Yeah, 100%. I want to do kits like that eventually. That's one thing I want to do with the membership site once it's like officially launched is I want to have, because I have a storefront on there too. There's nothing there right now, but I want to put up like 3D printable designs for like when I make a mod like that, just put it up for free for the members, stuff like that, just to make all the STLs available. So yeah, a follow up of that speed booster with a more like accessible and like easier, more reliable kit is definitely something I'm looking into. iPod modding so much fun. I just got a huge battery and expandable SD storage in mine. Just need a custom firmware on it. Yeah, I was looking at the custom firmwares. They seem sick. I've got a iPod Nano 5th gen, like the super slim, like old orange one, one of the first ones they put the camera in. And I want to put some custom firmware on that and then just like hardwire it into my car dashboard and just have that be my media player for the car. That would be sick. If you decide to go through the cassette route, I'll send you my own music on cassette for free. Hell yeah. I've already got a couple cassettes of like Kaifo's music that I used in my videos a lot. Now I've been trying to make my own music for everything. Probably the last dozen videos or so have been my music, but Kaifo's in a lot of the old ones. So I bought all his on cassette. I just need a player. But eventually when I've got enough of my own music, I want to print mine on CD and cassette as well. YouTube Premium and Spotify. Yeah. Why not use YouTube Music at that point? It's a good point. I've been thinking about. I tried YouTube Music for a while, but it was just a little shoddier of an experience. I don't know. Because it's like YouTube doesn't vet the like official releases from like the fan edits, and like it's a little harder to find the official recordings, I feel like. Hey, Evan, love your videos. Can you do a dedicated vid of your C-mount lenses? I did do a dedicated video of my C-mount lenses a couple vids ago, I think. But there will be plenty more C-mount junk coming. This camera is going to get modded to C-mount, a Sony RX0 kind of action cam type thing. So that'll go C-mount. No promises, but I think I'm going to C-mount my iPhone just because that would be so on brand. As just like, I don't use my phone camera that much anymore. So I like the idea of tearing this thing up because also one of my lenses is already broken. So I'm thinking about tearing that up and C-mounting the iPhone. So there will be plenty of, I think the pillars of this channel are scrap wood and C-mount lenses. There will be plenty more of that. No Gen Con for me, production schedule, keeping me in the studio, good problem to have. Keep us posted on the hat work. I'd love to learn how to make custom hats. Congrats on the new spot as well. Good to see you back in your own creative space again. Hell yeah. Thank you. Yeah, hats will be soon. Hopefully next couple weeks is my goal. That's why I bought the embroidery machine right now, because I really need to like make some money in the next month, hopefully. Again, shout out the website soft launch in the description if you want to send over a couple bucks. It helps a lot. Recently got my first internship paycheck and got myself a nice Dremel. Hell yeah, Dremel was my first power tool as well. Old one, my dad's broken. I was getting tired of sanding 3D prints by hand. That is very, very fair. Yeah, Dremel is the first tool I got. I was worried mine died the other day. I don't know if I put it in the video or not. The router died and then the Dremel died, but it kicked back on after a bit. So I don't know if it overheated or maybe I need to crack those tools open and like clear out sawdust from inside them or something. I'm definitely going to crack open that router and see if I can figure anything out about it. Sir, please put a body cap on the Sony. Yeah. You know, I was just telling my buddy, my roommate Michael, like sometimes I'll just leave a camera in the background of a video with no lens mount on or no body cap and just see if anybody comments on it. Because I truly don't care that much. Like dust is an inevitability in my studio. No matter how careful I am, it's gonna happen. But yeah, I should be careful. It's a big old body cap. I don't know if I have body caps, I just have lenses. Aren't both of them brush tools? They should just need new brushes. The router might be brushless. Or no, I think it's brushed because it was on clearance because they were replacing, I think Harbor Freight in the last year or two replaced all of their SKUs with brushless, at least for their nicer brands. I'm not too familiar with that, but yeah, if brushes are just a thing that I can get, I will definitely try to do a router repair and maybe make it into a router table. That's something somebody suggested in the comments, which I think is a good idea. How's the printer coming along? Have not unboxed it yet. I need to build another table right now because I'm quickly eating up my space here. But I think I might clear some space right here and start up the embroidery machine here in a second and see if I can get that to at least make some cool noises, even if it doesn't stitch anything. If you make your music on cassette tape, I'll buy one. Sick. Yeah, I would love to. I want to like release it officially at some point. I think I'm up to 8 songs now, I think. I need a couple more. I want to have like a whole EP. But yeah, printer's coming soon. I've also had some 3D printer companies reach out and offer to send stuff. I don't know if those are like paid sponsors or anything. I don't know. I kind of don't want to just take products for reviews and like dilute the channel with reviews that I'm not even, it's like getting printers would be cool, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to like force feed you guys sponsored content if I'm not even getting rent money out of it, but maybe there'll be a couple 3D printers in here eventually. But for now, the one that I do have sent nicely by No Name, that will be up very soon. I'm deciding which of my 3D printing projects I'm going to do first with it. It could be like a redux of that speed booster with like an STL, like a kit that I make available. It could be, there's another idea that I have involving C-mount lenses. Would be C-mounting disposable cameras, which would be a sick kit to make available. There's a couple other 3D printed things, like maybe for that camera rig having like a little HDMI mount. Yeah, I'm just deciding which one to do first. Another table live stream? Possibly, quite possibly. I want to set things up to do more like project live streams. I was hoping to do that today with the embroidery machine, but my B-cam was not HDMIing in. It's those pesky micro HDMI cables, man. So I only have the one camera today. Sample the embroidery machine? That's a sick idea, actually. Run it through an effects pedal. Put a bunch of reverb on the... That's a really good idea, actually. I've thought about that before for like 3D printers or like... Because 3D printers are always like weirdly melodic when they're zipping around. But embroidery machine would have some nice like percussive elements too. They should have come with some spares, but whatever brushes you have should be fine. The actual swap should take 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, sick. I don't think I have spares. The Dremel was like $15 years ago, but I bet I can find some on eBay or something. Where'd you get the big rug? I think it was rugsusa.com or rugs.com, one of those kind of budget-ish ones. So are you from Indiana? Yes, in Indianapolis right now. The big Indy. Avoiding sponsors is cool and admirable, but you got to make rent money, Lamau. No one will look on you for doing a few ad reads here and there. Yeah, I would. I'm saying I'm not going to. Depends on how memberships go. I want to avoid like random reads that aren't, relevant at all. And also just like products, like so many of them are just like, we'll send you a product. And it's like, okay, that sounds cool, but that doesn't pay my rent. I don't need 8 different 3D printers from different brands. Like I'm happy with the one I've got. You can always start a second channel. Evan Monsma prints stuff in that. That is something. The second channel, I'm definitely going to just start posting more random projects. There's probably after stream today, I'm going to finish. I'm doing a dining room table right now. Not something I would make like a main channel video on, but I picked up a big old hardwood dining room table off the side of the road, and I'm just sanding it down, refinishing the whole top, and then bringing that in to furnish my kitchen a little bit. And I'm doing just like a super slow edit that I'm just going to post on my second channel. So yeah, definitely random like little projects will show up there. What's your favorite kind of animation? Strange question. I don't know. I don't know what I like claymation, I guess. I have a claymation project that I'm working on. Like, I love miniatures. That's my thing. I like practical effects and miniatures. I think they do maker grants through Tested. I don't know anything about that. But that would be sick. Yeah, that does sound like something they would do, I guess. Tested is dope. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about grants. Your workshop looks so sick. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Which tools would you say are more useful to start with considering you have none? Classic drill, 12-volt drill. It'll be cheaper, it'll be smaller. You can fit it in more places, but it'll still drill through most of the stuff you want. A Dremel, you can pick them up for $20-$30, the cheap ones. That'll do all your small shaping you need. I mean, it depends on what projects you're doing, but like Dremel comes up more than you'd think, and you can even do like some small metal cutting with it. So drill, Dremel, maybe a palm sander. You can get those for cheap too. I would go cordless 12 volt on your first drill, but palm sander and Dremel, don't worry about buying into a platform. Just buy a corded one. It's not going to matter. I think those are the big three to start. And then, obviously like nice rulers, a square. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are the big ones to start. But Van Neistat has a very good video on the best beginner toolkit. You can get like a jigsaw as your first saw. It's safer than a circular saw. It can do a lot of the stuff that a circular saw can, a bit slower, but it can also kind of do the job of a bandsaw, doing some things that circular saws can't. So I would say when you need a saw, get a little corded jigsaw. Because the cordeds are going to be cheaper. You don't have to buy into a battery platform, all that kind of stuff. Not trying to be a weirdo, but I'm from Eastern Indiana. Makes me feel hopeful to see others doing stuff that inspires me, especially in my state. Hell yeah. Indiana boys. Hoosiers. I got a JobMate Dremel I bought 22 years ago for 11 Canadian, using it multiple times a month and still working. Unbelievable. I agree. Like that router in the last video, like the router died. That was maybe $100 before it was marked down on clearance. I think they put it at like 30% off plus my 20% off employee discount. So I got it for like 55 when it was going on sale. But that thing died in a year and a half using it, every couple projects. The Dremel was $15, bottom shelf Menards, probably 2017, 2016, like one of the first power tool I bought with my own money. And it's still going strong. I do need to get some new bits for it though. I'm kind of lacking on my Dremel bit game. I want some of those quick release cutting discs. But yeah, I feel like name brand bits, off brand tool is the move if you're on a budget. I was sponsored by PCBWay and the video flopped, lol. Yeah, PCBWay is cool because they do a lot of stuff with smaller creators. Like they've reached out to me too. I'm working with Luz right now on maybe doing some little CNC machining stuff for injection molding. Speaking of injection molding, next week is injection molding part 3. We're taking the injection molding machine in the car, run it out of the back of the car in Chicago. This all happened like 2 or 3 months ago. I've just been sitting on the footage, but that's the video that's going up next week. So for those of you that are into 3D printing, injection molding, all that kind of stuff, that's happening next week. Thanks a lot for your way of seeing how to make things that help me do a lot. I'm dyslexic right now. That helped me a lot to do a thing. So thank you for your knowledge and your wiseness. Hell yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could help inspire. One of those vibrating multi-tools, it's a game changer, can handle aluminum and wood and occasional thin steel. Those are sick, actually. I don't know where mine is. That's one of those things that hasn't showed up again yet in the move. It's one of those things that like I had out on my desk, and so it got tossed into some random box during the move, and it has not showed up again yet. But I was really missing that, making the speed booster this week. I could have used that quite a few times because I made some jank cuts with like a wood cutting bit on my Dremel and stuff like that. I was resisting the urge to use the circular saw. because I cut my finger the other week, and it's like, it's a bad look for me to almost cut my finger off one week with the circular saw and then be right back to doing stupid cuts with it next week. So I did not use the circular saw on the lens adapter. But yeah, I was really missing that oscillating multi-tool. And I just picked up the other day a couple little sanding bits, because these would have come in handy big time. So I've got sanding bits for the oscillating tool, so I can get into smaller spaces that my Dremel can't, or that my regular palm sander can't. Yeah, the oscillating tool has been like a big unexpected win, because I bought into DeWalt 20 volt to get a circular saw. So I just bought one of those big kits, because it was like the circular saw alone plus a battery and a charger would be like, $130 for the saw, another who knows how much for the battery and charger. But I found a kit that was like $300 on sale, and it came with the circular saw, 2 batteries, charger, drill, driver, flashlight. They always throw the flashlight in there, and an oscillating tool. And I bought it mostly for the impact and the circular saw, but then I ended up actually using the oscillating tool a ton. Those things are magic. Do you have a P.O. box, Colt? Not yet. That is something that will be up here in the next few weeks, because I want to make that like a part of the streams, is unboxing random P.O. box stuff. I'm going to make an effort to do that for next week's video. Maybe not next week's video, but next week's stream. I'll try to have a P.O. box up. So that'll be soon. Because a couple people have been asking me about that. I'll put it in the title of the stream next week if the P.O. box is up. Keith, what up? How's it going? Jewel, I made the error and got a Dremel that works with a battery, and it only lasts 30 minutes or so. It's really annoying. Yep. Unless you need a tool to be cordless, I would buy corded. Like, obviously impact drivers and stuff. I think circular saw should be cordless probably. They do die kind of quick, but I just don't want to, in my mind, I don't want my circular saw attached to the wall or being able to be snagged on things. So I go cordless on drills, drivers, saws. But like something like a Dremel, a jigsaw, stuff like that, I would go corded just so it never dies. And it's just more reliable and cheaper, honestly. First tool I bought for myself was a scroll saw from the 70s off Facebook. Runs like a beast through PVC and wood that should be way too thick. Nice. I like it. Vices are also essential. True. Yeah, I think my vise was like, it's like a 5-inch vise. I think it was $50 at Harbor Freight, something like that. Funny thing, when I was working at Harbor Freight, somebody bought one of these 5-inch vise. It's like, got to be a couple dozen pounds. It's pretty heavy. Somebody bought one, and she tried to return it a couple days later. She came in, the box was all torn up. She was trying to return this thing. She rolls up carrying this vise that must be like 40, 50 pounds. And she's riding one of the electric scooters. It was like she didn't have a car, and she needed to return this to get the money back to, like, I don't know, pay rent or something. Like, it seemed like she was in a bad situation. But she came in on an electric scooter carrying a vise, which I thought was badass. Yeah, but a vise is something that you definitely got to get. Withered Channel in the chat. What's up? I haven't seen that name in a while. With the $2, when you gonna collab with Peach News? I don't know that channel exists anymore. But thank you for the $2. Good to see you here. Mark, find a battery eliminator from a camera or Walmart with matching voltage and same or greater amperage. Oh, like wiring up a battery tool to have a wall plug? I've never looked into that, but that seems sick. Oh, also, while we're on that topic, if anybody knows anything about, I'm looking to do a similar thing with a phone. Taking the battery out of a phone and running it off of like USB power or off of a LiPo that's the same voltage or something. Um, I believe it's like a 3.6 or a 7.2 volt battery. And I'm curious with like the regulators and the charge limits and stuff if that's possible. If you know anything about that, let me know. Message in the Discord or something, because that's something I'm trying to do. I have this tiny little Palm phone that I'm using for a future project for something, but it dies so quick. And I need the USB for data transfer, and it won't do data transfer and charge at the same time. So I'm looking into tearing the back off and having it run off of a bigger LiPo or directly off USB power. So if anybody has any experience doing that kind of thing with a phone, let me know. Injection molding is cool, but making the molds is just difficult. You'll see the jank we pull in the next video next week. But we made some molds on the spot with $15 of epoxy. Wasn't that bad. If you want like really nice high quality molds with proper venting and stuff, yeah, like CNC milling can be tough. But there will definitely be follow-ups on that. And next week, there's a big injection molding video. You would have been the second creator I'm so to that cut their finger off with a circular saw. How's that finger now, by the way? It's actually like basically entirely good. I thought it was going to scar pretty big, but it's totally fine. Thanks for asking. I think I'll just invest into a corded one. I'm not very good with electronics, nor really enjoy that kind of tinkering. Very fair. We don't mess around with electronics. Everyone is badgering you about a P.O. box somehow. Yeah. Okay, I'll try to have one up by next week. I'm kind of short on funds right now, but I don't think they're more than like $15 a month, something like that. I'll try to get one. It'll be in the title next week's live stream if I do. Buy cheap, low-end Harbor Freight and replace the tools with better battery-powered stuff once you know what you want in the tool. Exactly. I almost said the exact same thing in the Pista camera that I cut when the router died because I wasn't recording audio. But that's usually what I'll do is I'll buy a super cheap one, and if I use it enough that it breaks, that probably means it's worth buying a new one. So like stuff like a jigsaw, like ever since I got my like full-size circular saw, I haven't used the jigsaw as much. So the cheapo jigsaw that I bought years ago for $30 has not died yet, which means I don't need a new jigsaw. But the router, apparently I did use enough to kill it, so maybe it's worth getting a new one at some point. Yeah, it was kind of weird sending things directly to you. P.O. box would be convenient. Yes, for sure. I didn't really care that much when you sent me that printer because that was like the week before I moved out of Cleveland. So that address wasn't going to be around anyway, so I didn't care. But yeah, P.O. box, I'll try to do that for next week. If you're going to spend good money on anything, get a good vice. True. Facebook Marketplace for those two could be a move. They make rubbery magnetic soft jaws for vices. Very useful to have. Won't mark up or indent things you're holding. True. I don't really care about that kind of thing. I've got vice marks on all my stuff. I've done this already. Read the phone. Okay, sick. I will talk to you later about that, Keith. That's sick, because I didn't know that was possible. I thought that maybe it would be some weird stuff with, I don't know. I don't understand diodes and resistors and all that junk, so it's like if I can't direct wire it, it's out of my capabilities. Okay, sweet. I'll talk to you about that later then. I 3D printed an adapter for my Ryobi rotary tool and hooked it up to a 5 amp laptop power brick. Hell yeah. That's sick. Subreddit to do that, just getting rid of phone batteries. Let me try to find it. Seems easy though. It's called Android Afterlife. Okay, dope. Do you have any allergies? Not technically, no. I'm not big on sugar, but it's not like an allergy. For the P.O. box if you send snacks or something. Yeah. No, I don't think so. All right. I kind of want to, I've been kind of itching to plug in this embroidery machine and see if it does anything. So I kind of want to do that right now. I haven't had the time. Let's see. Do I have a handheld mic somewhere? I do. Bear with me for a second. What you drinking? Coffee. Very dark coffee. My friends just got back from Colombia, and I don't think the coffee was from Colombia. They just had it. But they're not big dark coffee people, or at least super dark coffee. So they gave us a big old bag, and I just brewed up my first cup of it. Extremely dark, but I'm loving it. Funny other story about them getting back from Colombia. They brought back some big bottles of malt liquor because we like our 40-ounce bottles of malt liquor in our friend group. And so he brought back these 2 bottles to thank me and Michael, the roommate, for sitting their cats, or their cat and their rabbit while they were away. They brought these bottles all the way back from Colombia, and then the second he hands it to me, I just drop it, and it shatters all over his floor. I'm a big doofus. How am I I'm working with power tools all day. I have steady hands, but can't hold a liter of malt liquor. It made it all the way from Colombia, and then shattered immediately. Testing. Hello? Oh, here we are. That working? How does it sound? How does this sound? I have an extension cord on my headphones, so this should stay working. But we'll find out. Oh, my mic cable isn't that long. Interesting. Anyway, we got an embroidery machine here. Big ol' sucker. Let's clear some space. See if I got scammed on Facebook Marketplace. The lady I bought this thing from seemed pretty nice. I don't think she would stiff me on this purchase. But you never know. Okay. One embroidery machine. Good audio. Sounds very hot. The coffee or the mic? It might be a bit louder. It probably is a bit louder. Let me turn it down a touch. Just a smidge. Cool. I've got some embroidery hoops for this sucker. And a cable. There's my power cable. I really need to plug in I need a lav mic for streams if I'm going to be doing stuff on stream, because it's kind of tough to do these kind of things one-handed. But we'll make do. I should just use my Rode mic that I modified earlier. Okay. Should I put a zoom lens on this so you can see it? I think that's the move. Hold up. Going from the ultra wide to the super zoom. There we are. There is our beautiful new brother embroidery machine. Let's see if this sucker does anything. Funnily enough, we in Colombia don't get the best Colombian coffee because we export most of it. Huh. That is interesting. Where do you find the music for your videos? I make it. But I'll post a video on that and how I make it soon. That's been a highly requested one. Do you ever 3D print parts for your equipment? Sorry if you've already answered this, I'm new. No, I'm not really big into 3D prints usually, although I do have one now, so I'm going to get more into it. But like if I'm making something one of one for myself, I'm just going to make it out of wood or something. But I want to get more into 3D printing so that like I can sell or make available kits to do some of the same projects that I've been doing. All right, she's plugged in. Oh, it does in fact turn on. The carriage of the embroidery unit will move. Keep your hands away. Cool. Will do. Ooh, there's some designs on here already. A pretty flower pot. Very cool. Flashbang. Yeah. The lights came on. Highly interested in your embroidery findings. I was tempted to buy one of those small brother machines. Yeah, I ended up going with the PE 535. I don't know. They all seem kind of similar. It's hard to tell, like, what's the difference between the 535 and the 525, you know? And then, you know, you can spend way more on the 700 or the 800 or the 735 or blah, blah, blah. There's so many. But at the end of the day, I just kind of picked one that I saw on Facebook Marketplace and bought it. Watched a couple reviews and seemed like it works good enough. That's a very cool use case for the 3D printer you thought of. Yes, I will definitely be having some stuff to, like a follow-up on the speedbooster video would be cool. Let's see. Got some embroidery hoops. I don't know how this sucker works, but we are going to find out. I'm going to try to do like a little something. Do I have any fabric I can use? Yes. There's some fabric. Yeah, I really need another mic over here. I just want to get this set up so I can have it running in the background. Let's see if it works. Pardon my bad audio for a second. We'll do the director's commentary on the main video this week shortly. Just need like a 5-inch thing of fabric to test on. Here we go. That should work. See if I can pin it in with one hand. And maybe we'll get us a pretty thing of flowers or something. So this is the embroidery machine that I'm going to make my hats and stuff on. So you were here for the first running of it. Hopefully. If I can figure out how to do it. Looks like we've got thread in the bottom. So this just clips in, I guess. Cool. Now we just need thread for the top. If I get this working live on stream, that would be sick. Let's go with some red. Some little red thread. And maybe this thing will work. Threading, man. These things are always so complicated. 1, 2. Bear with me for a second. 4, 5, 6, Is that where it's supposed to be? Just casually threading a needle live on stream. On this episode of Tinkering, Evan drives a needle through his finger. Maybe. Have to stick around and find out. Also interested how good it is as a regular sewing machine. I think this model is not a regular sewing machine. I believe it's just embroidery. But I've got another embroidery one. What's this? Is this tension? This feels like this should be tension. Oh. I just cut my thread. I'm sure I did something I wasn't supposed to. That's not good. Maybe doing this live on stream is not the move. But I'm doing my best here. And if it gets running right here, that would be a big moment. 5, 6. There's like an automatic threading thing on this machine. But I don't think it works. They said on the listing that the auto threader did not work. So I might be a little screwed there. I'm gonna give it like a minute or two, and if it doesn't work, I'll give up. Why is that cutting my thread? This is too much, man. Why are the viewer numbers going up? Appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Evan, speaking from experience, the stepper motor setup for a 3D printer gantries can turn any sewing machine into an embroidery machine. Ooh, I did kind of think about that. But I figured the programming would be pretty hard. I don't know though. I mean, I've got this now, so as long as it does something. What I can't tell is how this is supposed to go. I kind of want to just make it up. That's kind of what I want to do right now. I'm going to go around back of this thing. This might be jank. Thread the needle. I'm definitely doing this wrong. Come on. All right. Okay, we have a needle threaded, folks. We have a needle threaded. I know that was incredibly tense and enticing and very good content. Let's just press some buttons and see what the hell happens, huh? Yeah, that looks like a pretty flower. Go. Yeah, that's fine. How do I make it go? Boom. Drop the foot. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, am I in editing mode, not in going mode? It's saving. Stitch it. Which button means go? I need the go button. No, I don't care about the color. I just want you to do something. No, 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 no. Back, 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 back. Yes, cancel. I'm just pressing random buttons. Here, let me show you the designs. Wow, very zoomed in. Oop. Don't know if I can get there. There it is. Now you've got the POV. All my pretty little designs. All my options. I want this cute little guy. Oh, it's the wrong bed. Hush. Just let me do something, man. Okay, okay, sure. Now do that one. Set. That's big, but let's do it. Make it smaller. Okay. Now where's the go button? It feels like I'm just editing designs and not actually making anything. I can mirror him. How do I make it go? Come on. I'm just staring at this stupid little teddy bear. Alright, I might have to give up on this, folks. Unless there's a button on here that means go. Do it. Yes. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Alright, whatever. I'll do it another time. Edit end? I don't think so. Embroidery. Ooh, you might be right. Okay. I'm just pressing completely random buttons at this point. It feels like that should be the button that does it, but it doesn't. Delete. User manual. Yeah. Whatever. I'll just figure it out off stream, I guess. Oh, raise the foot lever. Oh, we're moving, folks. We're moving. I don't know if I did something good, but it definitely moved. No, now we're back to where we were. Why? All right. Well, thanks for bearing with me, folks. I'm giving up. Ask ChatGPT. That's kind of a funny idea, actually. I might just have to do that. We're going on a whole adventure this stream, folks. Back to this mic. And we'll turn this one off. Okay. Well, we tried. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to chat GPT it because that sounds funny. Chat GPT. Does this thing still work or do you have to pay for it now? I don't know. I haven't used it in a while. Boom. Hey, how do I start an embroidery on Brother P535? Prepare your design, prepare your machine, load the design, prepare the fabric and hoop, thread the machine, position the hoop, check settings, press the start button. Where is the start button? On the control panel or touchscreen display, here's a general guide to identify the start button. Look for a button on the touchscreen that's labeled with a symbol indicating start or play. Hey, thanks anyway. I don't think it's very helpful. I don't think the thing knows. But you always got to say thank you to the AI. Because otherwise it might be mean to you later. Brother PE535 start. Let's just react. These kinds of channels, these are, this is how you get your info. If it's in 480p with sewing content, the lower resolution it is, the better you know that content's about to be. It's telling you to read the fucking manual. Exactly.
Type of
this lady in 480p will always be 10 times more valuable than ChatGPT could ever be.
Selection screen, which is up when you press position so that you.
Okay, I did all this.
Off. She comes with a box.
Yep.
Without look, if you have.
Show me the screen, woman. Please.
Trying to.
Please.
Learn how to get this machine to work. I'm super
No.
excited. I hope you enjoyed
No,
this
that's
video.
all I needed.
My name is Liz, and
I just need the screen.
EMO's Creative Studio, where anything
Brother
and everything you create
PE535 tutorial. I just need it to start. That's all I need. I don't care if it puts out anything good. I just need it to do something.
There's your stitching.
Oh, stitching with Sue. Stitching with Sue is going to help me out.
Back, and the hoop is going to fit.
I guess I already watched this video.
So this little is going to all around. Again, this action you can do. Okay, and we're back to this screen. Now again, if you want to make any changes, this is a place where you can move it. So we're going to bring up your screen.
Which button do you press to start? That's all I need to know.
That and like go back. Well, do your bobbin and whatnot. I'm going to take you. Say you. Oh, you.
I have not gotten this far.
Okay, so see.
This might be too much for me right now.
You can rotate it.
So I've gotten to this screen.
You can do it many ways, but this is fine like this. This fills the hoop exactly. Now I want to make sure what's in my hoop is, see this, press it, and watch
what's
this.
she pressing?
This is going to do that, and I'm going to press it, and what it's going to do is it's going to go all around the perimeter, and it's going to show you where it's going to stitch.
I don't think she showed what button she pressed, though.
Watch this. This is good.
Okay, that one. Am I losing people? There's a physical machine on the button. No, it's not the big red button. The big glowing red button. That's an indicator that tells you to raise the foot, I believe. I do believe. But I'm not certain. Here, let's see. Lower the press your foot. Oh, you were right. You were 100% right. Oh, you were so right. You were exactly right. That was the button. Thank you. Oh, it's cooking. It's cooking, folks. Hold on. Flashbang. Bear with me. It's totally cooking. I don't know if it's doing a good job, but it is cooking. It's just stitching a circle right now. Oh yeah, it's working. That thing is cooking, man. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get my iPhone. I think there's a way I can use the phone as a second camera. Video capture device, add existing. Oop. Hold on. Discard, delete. Yes. Okay, I just stitched a circle. I do believe it just stitched a circle, folks. Hold on. Hold on. Is this intriguing content? Are we having a good time? Hell yeah, that's music. Hell yeah. Let me see if I can get my iPhone. There's an app called Irian Webcam that'll let you use your iPhone as a USB camera. Oh, here we go. Add video capture device. Okay. Webcam. Yes. Y'all seeing this? It's like magic, bro. Except it's like 480p. Can we go 1080, please? Can we go 4K? Wow. Very high res. Let me get the mic. Shaky cam, sorry. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Okay. Back on the handheld mic. The reveal. We do, in fact, have a circle. And it worked really well. Wait, this is sick, actually. Hold on. Let's do something else. I want to do the teddy bear I was looking at earlier. Okay. Hold on. Back to this camera. We're doing a whole adventure right now. Okay, so now I understand this UI. So we can create a new design with this little guy. We can size him down. Actually, I want him big. Screw it. We're going big. Edit, embroidery. It's a bunch of different colors, so I don't know if it's going to work, but save. Delete another pattern. Let's delete this one. Okay. What camera do you use for streaming? It's an FX30. Extremely overkill, but here we are. And also extremely overexposed. Wow. Friday stream be still my beating heart. Here we are, man. Here we are. Keep it in 480p because then you know it's good sewing content. True, but I'm kind of a fraud because I don't know my sewing. And so I have to be in 4K to let you know that I don't know anything about sewing. It would be kind of disingenuous for me to be in 480p. That would be me LARPing as somebody that I'm not. Alright, we're looking at this beautiful little teddy bear. No, don't cancel. Let me just save it. Delete another pattern. Okay, no. I think we have it. Yes, it's okay to cancel. How do I scroll down or go to another page? Well, I don't know how to start a new one. Oh, that one's cute. I'm putting a little cat. Finish editing. Man, this UI. Not enough memory. I think it might be because I'm programming ones for the wrong hoop. Because there's different sizes of hoop. How do I get to these patterns, man? Yes, cancel. No, that's not what I want. Oh. I get it. Hold on. I'm learning, folks. I'm learning. So I just need to find what it considers editing. Yep, here we go. We're making a little guy, guys. We're making a little teddy bear. Oh, he's cooking, folks. He's cooking. All right, back to the iPhone shaky cam. Oops, did I just pause it? Keep going. What did I do? Oh. Look at him go. This is what we're creating. This little man. Now it's programmed to be a bunch of different colors, so I don't know how it's going to handle that. And I'm stitching it over top my circle. It's crazy because I haven't adjusted the tension at all yet. That's faster than my grandma. Hell yeah. I haven't adjusted the tension or the settings. And I'm pretty sure I stitched it wrong. I ran the thread wrong too. Because there's a point here that says 6 and I just skipped that basically. Okay. So that's done. So I think it's prompting me to switch the thread color. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I did that. How many different kinds do we have? Maybe 4 colors? Dude, this is exciting. New grandma unlocked? I don't know if this is as cool for all of you as it is for me, but I'm loving this. Alright, let's let her run. Let's let her run in the background. And get back to the regular stuff. How much is that in the audio? Like, I assume you hear it a lot when I'm just on this mic. Oh, I just realized I didn't put chat on a CRT either. I guess I wouldn't have room today. I really need to build that TV cart so that I can like roll out the CRT and have chat. It's not too bad. I bet if I point the mic away, it'll be less bad. Not too bad, tolerable. Sick. Well, I'm not going to start my commentary yet. I won't start the commentary until after that's done. But bro is cooking. Big time. Oh. Those sounds are so cool. More. Keep going. Ooh, that package didn't have my address on it. No, it didn't. Cool. The sound is giving major steam train vibes. Speaking of steam trains, hold on, I have something to show you. I got this at a thrift store yesterday, or like a used bookstore. Used something store. I don't remember. What are you trying to embroider? Just learning in general? The goal is going to be hats, because I always wear hats in every video. Right now, I literally just plugged in that machine like 5 minutes ago, or probably 15 at this point. So I'm just embroidering on some random fabric I had. But the goal will be making a little jig so it can do hats. I'll probably do that in the next couple days. First stream I've caught, happy to be here. I'm glad you're here. It's not usually, it's usually a little higher production value, but right now we are testing out this sucker. Keep going. So I think I have to manually press a button. If the design has color changes in it, I have to tell it that I changed the thread, even if I didn't. Thought you were about to say you're building a steam train. That'd be sick. But no, I got this. The Ultimate Coffee Table Book. Trainwrecks, a pictorial history of accidents on the main line. It's literally just a picture book full of train crashes. Oh, let's take this off. Full of train crashes. Beautiful, beautiful train crashes. Just like photographs and stuff. There's one. That's a good one. And whoever wrote this was like being a little funny about it. This one says, the once handsome Pembroke lies half hidden among debris after it struck a slow-moving gravel train in the winter of 1981. They make them a little silly. It seems highly improbable, but it did happen. The Chicago and Alton engine climbed right into a freight car loaded with coal after ramming it from the rear. I don't know. I just think this is so funny to have in the studio just to flip through. But yeah, that's a good one. You made me think of that because steam trains. There's some boiler explosions later in that book too. You should do a collaboration with Natalie Lynn. Hey, if she ever road trips through Indiana, man. I think she's usually on the West Coast nowadays, but yeah, her content's sick. My dog keeps chewing up my hats. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. When we were rabbit sitting last week, the rabbit just kept eating our house. Like, he's so chewy. He just ate all up and down the staircase, like the whole railing, all the paint's gone. He also ate my car jack. My Daytona car jack. He bit all the foam off. Nothing is safe. That rabbit ate my house and my jack. Free the window. Free the window. What does that mean? That window? Will you be making a hat embroidery hoop jig for the machine or just find a secondhand one? I've heard the secondhand ones are pretty bad. I was watching a bunch of reviews from other 480p ladies doing reviews from like 10 years ago on this thing. And they were saying that the hat embroidery jig was not that good. So I'm going to make one. And the bonus about this Facebook Marketplace find is that it came with an extra 4x4 hoop. So I've got extra hardware that clips into that thing, so I can like make one without having to duplicate the whole metal hardware at the end there, which is pretty sick. Oh, let in the natural light. Yeah. Yeah, it has gotten dark. I also dropped the exposure because the lens is weird. And white balance because it's getting darker outside. Let's fix that a little bit. It's better. Room looks great, but plants need light. It looks darker in here than it is in real life. Also, it's like 5:30 here, so the sun's starting to set. Inspired by your video today, I printed a part to let me use my old Minolta lenses on my Canon 1100D. There's definitely a learning curve to it. Yeah, for sure. But that's sick if you get that set up. Is my teddy bear done? Nope. Apparently there's 9 different thread colors on this. We have just done the 6th. So it's almost done. It's kind of cool. It has a whole stitch count on it. Let me see if I can show you. See that? It's like 2011 out of 42 stitches, something like that. 4 minutes left out of 12 minutes. Yeah. Let's check the progress. Oh, I see a teddy bear. It's getting there. For sure. Also, the plants that I have about the natural light, the plants that I have don't like too much sunlight. So I try to keep them a little bit outside of the direct. We need distressed hat merch. Yeah, I'll take a palm sander to every single one of them. No, but there will be some element of like personalization to them. What I want to do, no promises, but what I want to do for all of them is serialize them. So once I make a bunch of them, run them all through that embroidery machine and just do like 001, 002, 003. So each one is serialized. And could even live stream that too, so you can go back and see your hat being embroidered. What plants do you have? It's like 2 Drakiana. I don't remember how they're pronounced. And then 1 philodendron up there. That's like kind of a monstera type thing. Those are the ones I have. And then I also have these cute little guys. Hold on, I have the iPhone. So where did it go? I've got the handheld cam right now, so I can do this actually. Video capture. And my microphone. Anyway, can I zoom in? I can. I got these guys, which are just little clippings of some other plants, and they are currently rooting in water. So there's like water and some like, I don't know what it's called, but some kind of growth promoter fertilizer thing that helps them make roots in the water, and then you transfer them to dirt. I probably have to do that soon, actually. But they're going pretty good. So I got 3 little baby plants and then 3 adult plants. What kind of watch you wearing? Looks dope. It's the Seiko Monster from a couple videos ago. Old beat up watch I bought. Fixed it up a little bit. Which I gotta eventually like buy a proper stem for it, because I made like a jank stem adapter with epoxy. But for now it works. Or actually, I'm lying. I think right now it doesn't work. Because when I put the hands in, I think I bent the hour hand up a little bit, and so it eventually ran into it itself. It worked for like a couple months after that video, but it just stopped a couple weeks ago. So I have to open it and bend those back because I screwed it up. AliExpress has all the parts you need. They do. You can actually adjust a lot in just the machine on those, but to get real in depth with designs is another story. Yeah, I've got some files to run, actually. I already got some software. I just haven't run them yet. All right. One more after this batch. You're reminding me I need to make a 10-hour metric clock one day. That would be sick. I love that. I love that idea. Actually, rooting, you don't even need the fertilizer. It just takes a bit longer. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got a touch of fertilizer in there. I don't know how long they still need to go, but I can see them starting to make roots. So we'll be there soon. Yeah, metric clock would be sick. My lighting is really changing pretty quick. think it's getting dark outside. I should just use auto white balance for streams. I don't know why I don't do that. I'm just so used to doing it manually normally. As long as they can stand up in the dirt, they should root into it from there. The roots they're developing in the water are like super stringy. So I think I need to wait a little longer. I don't know if I have to like put more fertilizer in there or give them extra light or something, but we'll see. They seem to be doing well so far. The leaves aren't going brown or anything. Lucas says, yo, what's up? What is up? I think maybe we're going to hop into check and rethread the upper thread. Uh-oh. I was going to say we're going to hop into the commentary on this week's video. But this thing's almost done. Check and rethread. I lost my thread. Yeah, we good. Who needs one of those fancy auto threaders? I'm a pro, man. It's got like this whole mechanism where you can run the thread up, it'll cut it automatically, and then you press a lever and it'll thread it through the needle right away. But don't need all that. For the Monstera type, I think it should get a few thicker ones too. Yeah, I think that one has been rooting the best so far, so that's good to hear. Your last name is Dutch, right? Sounds very Dutch. Yes, I'm a very Dutch boy. That's where the height comes from too. And maybe the love for wood. I mean, we make, Dutch people make windmills and wooden shoes and stuff, so maybe that makes sense. Yeah, I think let's hop into the commentary in a sec. Let's see if I can get that pulled up. I don't know if I have much extra to say on this week's video. I'm from the Netherlands, pretty boring here. Hell yeah, I've been wanting to visit. I don't know if I have much to say on this week's video, because I went super technical on this one, and I kind of just explained everything up front. So like anything that would be a behind the scenes thought, I just kind of put into the video, which people seem to like, but also the numbers on this video are much low. I try not to watch the numbers a ton, but I am inevitably, and the numbers are lower than usual. So I think maybe the super technical videos aren't as good. But I'm going to watch it back anyway and talk about what went into it and all that. I think there's only one more stitch on this thing, and then we can show our results before we hop back in. Oh no, the southern neighbors are here. Europe drama. This is what happens when I go live before 6 p.m. is the Europeans start fighting. We're almost done on this thing. He looks kind of beautiful. I don't know where this design came from, but it was already on there. I don't know if it's the default or if it's something that this lady added that I bought it from, but I kind of love it. I'm going to let it do the other foot, and then I'm going to stop it. Just wanted to stir the pot and cause some mayhem. I'm actually Swedish. Nice. Big love to everyone this stream cozy. yeah, thanks everybody for being here. It's a little more chill this week than usual. But I'm happy this thing is running, man. I got really close to giving up on that when I took like 15 minutes out of the stream to just push buttons randomly. But it'll all be worth it in a second once you see this little guy. This little guy is very impressive. Oh. One more little design on his hand and then we're done. And the coffee's done. Hey, Pap, are you watching? If you're watching, you should grab beer. I'm gonna hop into this speed booster thing in a second. I'm so curious how much this screws up the audio, because I'm waiting to... Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go. Y'all ready for the big reveal of my little guy? My beautiful little guy. Let's trim him up. Just cutting the threads off. He's so lovely, folks. My first creation. I call it Gingerbread Man inscribed onto circle. This will be up on my website for $10,000. If you would like to purchase, that would cover my rent for quite a few months. I love him. Yeah, so I tested with a circle and then the gingerbread man. I think the tension is too high because he's got a little belly, you see. So I think it was kind of pulling, because this is some kind of stretchy fabric, so it was like pulling it together as it went. And I think I also didn't tension it enough when I started. But that's a little guy. That's a little gingerbread man inscribed on a circle. I'm very proud of him. Along with your woodworker bathwater. Hell yeah. I love his 3D profile. Yeah, he's got a whole belly, man. He's so beautiful. That, I'm like actually really impressed because I threaded that machine wrong. I went in without changing any settings on the computer or changing the tension at all. I just ran it. And we have a little guy taking offers. Do you think you would make merch with this? Yeah, is this what I should put on the hat? Just no context, just a gingerbread man with a circle. I love it. He's beautiful. Channel mascot. Channel mascot being born as we speak. Yeah. Hold on. I need to free him from his cage. Let's see what he's like outside of his prison. Just imagine that, but like... Hold on. Let me present him well. Imagine the steez, the pure style of gingerbread man inscribed on a circle, the character. Yeah. If Louis Vuitton, Dior, maybe Armani, any big designers want to buy my stuff, let me know. I'm open to commissions He's lost it. All right, I'm gonna get back into it. Yeah. Why inch is better than millimeter? I don't know. 'Cause America, baby. America. I don't know. Millimeter's kind of better. Okay. Let's get back to business, folks. Let's get back to business. Let's hop into this little, what do I call these things? I've lost it. I've totally lost it. Director's commentary. Let's hop in. Is my desktop audio working? I believe it is. This piece of wood should be perfect. Just the right size for a Canon EF lens. It's a nice hardwood. Should be... How's audio? How's audio levels? Be perfect. Just the... You can see there's 2 cans of Budweiser in this filing cabinet. My scrap wood bin is also my beer fridge sometimes. This piece of wood should be perfect. Just the right size. There's also a smiley face on that. My friend Nathaniel drew that like ages ago on that piece of wood. And so I was like, it'd be funny if I use this piece of wood because there was a smiley face on it. And then it turned out that ended up being like the best piece of wood for the job because it was harder wood than the other stuff was. Love that straight direct opening line. It's so good. Yeah, I wanted to throw people into this one. Eyes for a Canon EF lens. It's a nice hardwood. Should be sturdy enough for some shaping with power tools. I need to inlay this old magnifying glass. So I say magnifying glass here. I'm 99% sure it's a magnifying glass because there's another one here actually. When I hold it up, it like magnifies stuff. It looks exactly like a magnifying glass would, but I got these from a thrift store loose. And I believe they're just broken magnifying glasses. That's the only thing that makes sense. 'Cause yeah, they do work like that. But I think if you're making one of these of your own, you can use basically any lens that's double convex. If it's curved out on both sides, then I'm pretty sure you can use the same one of those, whether it's forwards or backwards. I don't know. I'm not a scientist on these things, but I believe that's what you need to get this to work if you're putting it behind the lens. Glass lens. I'm attempting to make a speed booster rip the router lens adapter. A speed booster takes the light from a full frame lens, compresses it down to a smaller size to get a wider field of view on a smaller sensor camera. These things are usually at least $100, but I figured I'd try to make my own using stuff I had laying around. Now I ripped my Forstner bits as well. I don't know, that's another thing. I was talking about the oscillating tool earlier. My Forstner bits I cannot find in the move. I don't know where they are, but these things are so good at cutting holes like that. Figured I'd try to, way better than a spade bit, make my own using stuff I had laying around. Now, I'm not approaching this very scientifically. I'm just using a random piece of magnifying glass that I had. I'll try it at different distances from the sensor and see if I can get something usable out of it. The goal is to take the circle of light the lens projects and compress it down to a smaller size so that a crop sensor camera will see more of the image. The sensor... In theory, could you make a speed booster filter? Like, you mean on the front of the lens? It wouldn't technically be a speed booster at that point, but yeah, there are like wide angle adapters that you can put on the front of the lens. Oops. There we go. It is 0.66 times smaller, so that's what we're hoping for. I'm stealing the hardware I need from a regular dumb adapter without any focal reduction. Every time I think I understand lenses, I watch a Huygens, how do you say that? Huygens optics video and realize I know nothing. I've never tried to pronounce that before. But yeah, they are, I will never be on that level.
These adapters
I
can
wish.
be found for like $20. This
How do you deal with dust? Ignore. No, I've got like a little bench brush. I just bench brush it down into a trash can off the desk. And then I just have like a crappy vacuum cleaner for the floor. My shop vac is still in storage somewhere. I need to get that back. Or just get a better vacuum, but I don't have better vacuum money right now. So it honestly ends up being dusty in here quite a bit. What dust? What? You should open up the Bauer router and check the brushes. It might just need a cleaning or brush replacement. Might do that. If I had a second camera set up, I would do that like right now, but I don't, unfortunately. But yes, off stream I will. Definitely. And if I can get it working again, I'm going to make a router table, like a tiny little router table.
basic proof of concept little adapter.
Oh, by the way, if you're going to build one of these out of wood, I'm using the wrong drill bit here, which is why when you see it later, there's so many sets of holes because I had to change it a bunch. What you want to do is drill way smaller of a hole than you think you need. Step it up by like a 64th or a 32nd each time until you get the screw to thread perfectly. Where is that adapter actually? I don't know where I put it. Oh, I put it on the Micro Four Thirds camera. But like this thing feels sturdy. Like when there's lenses mounted on here, it does not wobble. And that's just these tiny screws tapped into a hardwood with no like extra threading. And the way you do that is just start smaller than you think it should be. Step up a 64th until it fits like as snug as you can get it. I believe in you, friend. Hit me up if you want to help learning Swedish. Must be going now. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Is as far as I got when I started this project a few months ago. But it's been on my mind ever since. It theoretically should work, so when I got my new studio set up, I jumped right back in. Now, I'm choosing to adapt Canon EF lenses to a Micro Four Thirds mount in this project. I'm planning to use this on an E-mount camera, but I chose Micro Four Thirds because with an additional dumb adapter.
So I do want to say about this. The dumb adapter going from Micro Four Thirds to E-mount, I think the difference in flange distance between those two mounts is only like 2 millimeters or something tiny. Technically, you shouldn't be able to get an adapter in there. So I'm pretty sure using this adapter normally will put the Micro Four Thirds lens farther away from the E-mount camera than it should be by like a millimeter or something. So in theory, it'll just make your lens minimum focus distance slightly worse. But the way I did this, I measured it up based on that because I was testing it on an E-mount lens. So I think in my case, the settings that I had it set to, it'll be a millimeter too far in when it's on a Micro Four Thirds camera. So it'll be a little more macro on Micro Four Thirds than it is on E-mount. But also the whole thing is so non-scientific and not accurate anyway that it doesn't matter in this case. But if you're trying to use one of these mounts, one of these dumb adapters from Micro Four Thirds to a mirrorless mount, normally it would be slightly iffy. E-mount's so nice, it makes it really hard to switch to another brand now. Yep, it is very nice. And you know the other thing I didn't even mention in this video, but I kind of forgot E-mount is a full frame mount too, because I just don't use full frame cameras. But you could mount this lens on like an FX3 or something, which I'm totally going to do next time I have my hands on, like if I get to borrow a E-mount full frame lens. I'm going to put that speed booster on that, and I bet you can see most of the image circle because I got it vignetting on APS-C. So if I throw that thing on an FX3 or something like that, or an A7 line of camera, I think I would see most of the image circle, which would be sick. Evan, I wanted to ask if the lens was scratched. It was not I mean, there's always tiny scratches because, you know, I wasn't being super careful with it. I didn't use it in the video, but I sanded with the belt sander around the edge of the lens at the end to give it a little extra something to grab on when I glued it down. I don't think I needed to do that, but I did anyway because I don't think there's any light that's coming through those parts. But no, I don't think the lens was scratched really. Maybe minorly, but I was shooting so wide open for most of this that the dreaminess just knocked it all out.
I'll be able to use it on either E-mount or Micro Four Thirds. With everything roughed in and test fitted, I can start to
There's just a lot of fingerprints on it there.
experiment with my focusing distance. The measurements between all my glass elements here have to be pretty precise for things.
So you can actually see the adapter that I tore apart for this. I said it was a dumb adapter because you can do it with a dumb adapter. This was a Metabones, but it was basically a dumb adapter because I bought a 4 parts one for like $30 or something. It never worked at all, the electronics. And honestly, when I bought it, I thought I was buying a 4-part speed booster because I wanted a manual focus one, so I didn't care if the electronics didn't work. And I didn't know Metabones made non-speed booster things. So I bought this. And then, yeah, Metabones are super nice if they work. So I would not have torn apart a normal Metabones. But in this case, it was completely dead and dumb. There was no speed booster in it. Electronics were totally not working. So I basically just tore it apart for the flanges. But yeah, you can get other dumb adapters that would be a lot smarter to use than that one for cheaper. But yeah, I didn't like having this thing sitting around because it was useless. So
to work out.
I tore
For
it
this
apart.
test, my focus distance was extremely close, meaning my glass elements are too far from the camera's sensor. The first step I'm going to take is moving my piece of adapter glass towards the sensor further by knocking down this edge. I started out with a file to be careful and not break the piece, but I realized that would take
I need to get some better like wood chisels or something.
forever and graduated up to a beveled router bit. This actually worked way smoother than I anticipated, and I was pretty pleased with the result. With the glass sitting a bit deeper, the lens now didn't touch my adapter glass, which is nice, and my maximum focus distance was better, but I had further to go. I managed to get that ledge knocked down a little further, and then my router decided to kick the bucket.
I bet you guys are right. It is probably a brush thing. So I'll crack that open another time. If I get the B cam set up for next week when I stream, I'll do that on stream next week.
I wasn't recording audio here, but I was a bit disappointed. I've only had it for a year. Got a lot of use out of it, but that's clearance rack Harbor Freight for you. In any case, before it died, it put out one last good enough chamfer, and the glass sits pretty nice and deep now. This process is all about patience and taking it slow. Just testing, knocking down a bit more.
Harbor Freight sells a finger grinder. Is that like their tiny little Dremel? I always saw that when I worked there, and I was like really wanting to get it, but I could never justify it.
Testing again until the focus distance is correct. Another factor here is that when using electronic lenses, the contacts
A bunch of people were saying you just use manual lenses, which is valid, so that I don't have to mess with the aperture not working. I have this. I put this on it at some point, a little Pentax 50 millimeter Nifty 50. Works pretty good. But the main thing for this was like I have the Canon glass and I don't use it as much anymore, but I really like these lenses. So I wanted to come up with a way to use them more often. I actually do use this 24-105 quite a lot though on the smart adapter. Because For a long zoom lens, it has like a really good minimum focus distance, which is very useful for the kind of stuff that I do.
Poke out a little extra. So I was happy to see the correct distance for this glass element ended up being far enough back that I could still fit electronic lenses. For the correct focusing distance, I actually had to end up moving this piece of glass so far back that it would come in contact with the rear lens mount. But with a little bit of shaving down of the rear flange, that was not a problem. With everything roughed into place for one final focusing distance test, I was pleased to see that this time I actually had proper focusing range. Now, I hadn't tried to get any actual shots with this thing yet, but I'd seen enough to know that I was gonna get
You can see my normal setup there.
somewhat.
So this is what I shoot with for like literally like 90% of my shots, and probably like 98% of the shots in every single one of my videos is this. I mean, I'm using it for stream right now. The super zoom Sony 18-200 3.5 to 6.3. People say it's a crappy lens because it's you know, not constant aperture, but I kind of love this thing.
Now, I hadn't
Really good minimum focus distance all the way into 200. It's like, that's how I was showing you guys the embroidery machine earlier. Like, it can be this wide, but also can zoom into that.
tried to get any actual shots with this thing yet, but I'd seen enough to know that I was gonna get something somewhat usable as a final result. Now I just have to take a bit off the top of this wood body to achieve the same measurements when I put the front lens mount on. It's at this point in projects like this where everything gets even more fun. I'm pretty confident now that this thing is gonna work. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
This is, oh, I keep pressing space and it hits my other thing. This is where I was wishing I had that oscillating tool. I don't know what box it's in right now. I'm still kind of working on unpacking. And I was trying to use a metal cutting bit or a metal cutting blade on this thing, and it was just being very slow. I also need like one of those Japanese pole saws. People keep recommending those. They're really nice. That would have been
in the end, but
that
I
would've been
know
good
that
here.
all the work I've put in so far isn't going to waste, isn't gonna end up with a totally failed project that's never finished. So now I can kind of relax a bit, finish off the last few functional things, and then make the adapter look pretty. I left the wood bit.
I always found it funny that premium lenses are constant aperture because that really means you're leaving some speed on the table at wider focal length. Is that true? I don't know. I'm not sure if they just engineer it better to be, because those are typically brighter, because it's like the not constant aperture. It's like this one is a 3.5 to 6.3. I basically just use it as a constant aperture 6.3, but I guess they just don't market it that way because, and they allow you to go to 3.5 on the wide end so that, you know, it looks better on paper. But then like, you know, the 16 to 35 is a 2.8 all the way from end to end. So are you saying like it could be, instead of a constant 2.8, it probably could be like a 2 to 2.8 and they've just removed that capability? That'd be interesting. I don't know how all that works.
Rough this whole time because there's no point in finishing it if the thing isn't gonna work. But now it's finally time for some good old wood shaping.
Oh, I have a belt sander. Because yeah, like every lens can be a constant aperture lens. It's just whatever it is at the long end. It's crazy to me now that like they're making like nice zoom lenses at like 2 point whatever. It's like, I don't really need anything more than 4 at most points. Like I said, 90% of my videos are shot at 6.3.
Now, similar to the router, this was a clearance pickup during my time at Harbor Freight, at least for a couple projects. Hopefully we get some good cuts out of it. I haven't used one of these since shop class in middle school, but how complicated can it be? I thought this knob was a tensioner at first, but it actually controls the pull to the left or right.
The other annoying thing about some of these lenses is like, so this is a 24 to 105 f4, and at f4 I can zoom all the way and it'll stay the same exposure, but when I put it at 6.3, then it gets darker towards the end, even if it's at 6.3 the whole time. I don't know. It's just weird that that doesn't happen wide open. Though obviously if they actually use the full aperture at 24, there would probably be quality issues. Yeah, probably.
Maybe I should read the instructions, actually. Just kidding. Just kidding. For the 65 bucks or whatever I paid for this thing 2 years ago, I'm pretty pleased with how well it works. It's kind of mesmerizing to be able to see all the material getting knocked off so quick. I'm happy to finally have a use for it. I bought this on my last day at home.
Having to use hard drives or SSD to store your contents. I edit off of, I got a bunch of like Samsung 2 and 4 terabyte SSDs, and I edit off of those, take those with me everywhere. And then I've got some like WD like 6 and 8 terabyte hard drives that I do deep storage. So after every couple videos, I'll transfer everything from the SSDs to the hard drives for deep storage. But only editing off of SSDs for sure.
Harbor Freight to make use of my employee discount before I left. It's just been sitting in a box for about 2 years. For a little bit, it actually functioned as my nightstand. But now that I have the space,
true.
it's finally...
I keep pressing space and it does this. It did function as my nightstand. When I lived in that cellar, I had this box. I did not have a nightstand, but I had the belt sander box, and it would be beside my bed, and that's where I would put my alarm clock and my glasses every night. Do you archive all your footage, or do you delete after so many years? Lately, I've been keeping it all. Because like I said, these days, most of the videos in studio, at least, I film at a lower bit rate directly onto my computer. So like keeping 18 hours of footage for a video instead of being like terabytes is now like dozens of gigabytes, maybe 100, 200 gigabytes or something. So it's significantly less bad. So yeah, the storage isn't as much of an issue, keeping everything when I'm recording into my computer at lower bit rate. But yeah, I haven't really had to delete anything yet. If I keep, streaming and posting every week for the next couple of years, at some point I will have to, or just keep hoarding hard drives. But generally, yeah, I keep everything.
Out here doing some work. I'm adding a 10-degree slope to this whole ring. No particular reason, just because I can now.
Honestly, the worst thing for my storage is like, now I'm good about either filming at a low enough bitrate that I can keep everything, or not overly filming. But in the early days, like, I tried to make a sneaker restoration video, and I just filmed every single little thing at the highest quality that I could. And I think that folder is like, it's like a terabyte or something like ridiculous for a video that never even made it like past the 5-minute mark or something. So like some of my old footage is like really ridiculous for storage, but now I'm like, I think my videos don't break a terabyte of archive footage now usually. Transcode everything to 1080 with low bitrate and put in deep storage. That's basically what I do, except 1440. Low bitrate 1440 is what I do. You're my favorite YouTuber, Tusspace #1 fan. Thank you, John. Thank you, I appreciate it. You know what, John? You're my favorite YouTuber.
Looks pretty cool, I think. It's kind of strange to have a somewhat decent wood project coming out of my studio. I'm usually all function, no form, but in this case...
This is true. I think this is objectively the best wood piece I've made in this studio. Usually my stuff is just so junk.
This thing's pretty sweet, actually. Anyway, with that being said, now it's time to...
So here you can see, like I was talking about earlier, how many sets of holes I drilled,
because I did it too big at first, and then I dropped the size, and then I changed the position. So I think there's 3 sets of 6 holes here. Ruin it with some of my usual jank. I like spray wood stain. Those are speed holes, exactly. It's a weight reduction. Adds 10 horsepower. Just get in all the cracks, and I don't have to dirty any brushes. Here's a ridiculous looking jig I've come up with. I love this thing. It is a Dremel stuck in a vise up against a clamped down can of wood stain. It's the only thing I could find that perfectly fit the radius of my adapter. It's high tech, man. The idea here is to get a somewhat stable rotation up against the Dremel tool so I can engrave these little rings into the adapter. I wanted to add a little bit of color to make this thing pop on whatever camera I put it on. I thought about just leaving it raw wood, but I wanted like a yellow look, especially because my plan for the A66 eventually is painting the case. I'm not going to spoil what I'm doing with it, but I'm doing something that involves painting it yellow. First time not seeing a 2x4 for wood creation. Yeah, exactly. I don't know where that piece came from, but I'm glad I had it sitting around. This project, really my big takeaway from this is I need more hardwood because it's so much nicer to work with. How's your Seiko going? It works. Or, well, it doesn't work, actually. I lied. It doesn't work. It still ticks. It's just every once in a while I bent the hands when I was putting them in, and every once in a while the minute hand will catch on the hour hand as it passes, and so it gets off like quicker than it should. So I need to crack it open and bend the hands into a more proper position. It might not be OSHA approved, but it is oh shit approved. I like it. I also added the little red alignment dot for mounting. Looks pretty cool, I think, and with a little bit of shine from my polyurethane finish, this is gonna look really sharp once the glass... I could have made it look like really nice, but then it wouldn't fit, you know? Had to make it a bit junk. I knew those lines were gonna be kind of crooked, but honestly they ended up straighter than I thought they would be. And then I used a little yellow paint pen. These things are awesome, by the way. Shout out to Machine Studio. My favorite marker of all time, I mentioned it in like my 10 favorite tools video, is the Pentel Presto correction marker, metal nib. But they only make them in white because it's meant to be like a correction pen. But this company, Metal Machine, makes them in all kinds of colors. So look up Machine Studios Metal Machine. Machine Studios is the company name. Really good marker. I use them for everything now. This is in and the metal hardware is mounted. I need a promo code with them. I also painted the inside of the adapter with some black acrylic paint to minimize internal reflections where the glass is mounted. And while I waited for all that to dry, I played with my belt sander some more. I don't know why I did this. I got so many comments on it right away. It's like, sanding your phone is the most jank shit that I would expect from you. But this is just preparing people for what's inevitably to come and how badly I'm going to ruin my phone. I want to make a video because there's so many people saying like, oh yeah, the iPhone 15 is like basically a cinema camera now. And there's people rigging out the iPhone 15 because it can record onto SSDs and stuff. And so I want to literally just chop off the lenses and put a C-mount adapter on my phone so I can do stuff like this, you know. Hold on, let me full screen my camera. Just like imagine walking around with this. Wouldn't that be sick? The sensor is so tiny it would like crop and it would go super telephoto and the stabilization would suck. So like I already know it's gonna be bad, but it would be cool as hell. So this is just preparing people for the inevitable destruction of my iPhone. I don't know, this thing's just too much fun. And I do like the metal look. Last functional thing on this adapter that I should have tackled earlier is this spring-loaded pin. This needs a little channel to move up and down to... This part made me cringe seeing you sanding wood with an open camera right next to it. Yeah. That's why I do that. It's just a little... I do stupid stuff sometimes, just... I don't know. I do it because I know somebody's going to comment about it. Not like comment farming, but I'm just like letting everybody know that it's going to be okay. That like you can do kind of stupid stuff and it'll be fine.
The metal phone does look kind of sick. It does. I need to do the rest of it. But it's like, it's two-tone now. To lock the lens in place. I definitely should have done this before finishing all my surfaces, but yeah, I need a wood chisel. I was just using a razor blade for this. Honestly, I got a little excited and forgot about it, but luckily the wood I was working with was hard enough that this didn't cause any major structural issues. With a bit of fiddling, I got the tolerances good enough that the spring worked. The back of the lens mount hardware also needs these little springs that keep the lens in place. Gotta go now, I'll have to catch the VOD later. No worries, brother, thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna be wrapping up here in a sec anyway. Don't know how the back glass would like sanding. Yeah, I'm just gonna remove the back glass. My old phone, there's a whole story. I had an iPhone 10 before this. I bought it off my buddy, Tusspace #1 fan, if he's still in the chat. I bought his iPhone 10, fell out of his car while he was on the highway, and he was looking for it later, and he looked on Find My iPhone to see where it was from his computer, and he saw it in the middle of the intersection on the highway, just bouncing around from one end of the highway to the other, like cars were hitting it. He went back, he got it out of the road, and it was just completely ruined, front and back, nothing left, like toast. And so I was like, I'll buy it for $50 because I was still on Android at that point, and I wanted to get on the iMessage, which I don't know if I care about that anymore, but so I bought this $50 iPhone, and I cracked it open, took out the back glass completely, replaced the screen with a new OLED, new battery. The battery was so badly punctured when I was taking it apart that it sparked up and it like almost blew up. So there's a picture of me looking through this iPhone from front to back, like you can see all the way through it. Put the new battery in, new screen, and then for the back I just made like a resin plate to fill in where the glass was. And I kind of missed that phone, honestly. So this one's already broken on the back, like you can see the metal coming through. So I'm gonna pry out all the glass and probably put plywood on the back of this sucker. But with all that sorted out, Evan, what's up? Jer, I forget, are you no, that was somebody else. I've seen your name before though. My DIY lens adapter actually fits surprisingly well. With that working beautifully, my last step before mounting the glass is painting the rear lens mount black. I'm using this Rust-Oleum camouflage paint. I love Rust-Oleum camouflage. Can't sell it hard enough. It's even cheaper than the regular Rusto 2X. Like you can get these for like $4. And it works really well. It maybe doesn't stick as well long term, but it is ultra matte. It comes out super grainy and dries ultra matte, which is perfect for this application where I'm trying to reduce internal glare. I wasn't happy with how glossy my previous coat of black was, so I'm actually going to spray paint the wood part too, which actually turned out really well. Once that dried, it was time for the final fitting of the glass element. It kind of hurts me to use hot glue here. Yeah, I should have bought like a rubber Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I wasn't showing the thing. Boop. Like hot glue normally, and the rest of this whole thing is pretty just looking like an idiot there. Yeah, I should have bought like a rubber gasket. But it worked. It was more misaligned though. I think the alignment and the weirdness at the edges would have been not as big of a problem if I hadn't used hot glue. So this kind of makes me cringe, but it did get the job done. Materials, but hot glue is a decent way to semi-permanently mount that glass, so I can take it out later if I want to make adjustments. Although I think in the future I'd like to replace it with some kind of rubber gasket that friction fits it in place. Fully assembled, the speedbooster has a really nice weight to it, and I think it looks pretty sick too. Yeah, it is heavy because you don't need to use this big of a piece of glass. Like realistically, the light is probably coming through maybe this
size. So it's a much bigger piece of glass than it needs to be, but it contributes to a very nice weight. Now here's the part that I've been waiting for since I came up with this idea. Heading out and actually getting some shots with this thing. For the rest of the video, every shot is through this speed booster. This is my new headlight, by the way. I welded up like a frame with some scrap metal. My scrap metal era is coming. This will be next couple weeks. I'm going to do the other headlight like this and film it. So there will be a making a new headlight from scratch video. This is using an old motorcycle headlight. The first thing I noticed shooting with this is just how much wider it is. These shots were at the wide end of my That's all the piano wood, by the way, from burning the piano. So I managed to salvage a lot of it. 24 to 105. And this shot, is that thing road legal? Yeah, man. It's the Midwest. Nobody cares. Was at the long end of it. I'll talk more about this in a sec. The next thing I noticed was the kind of dreamy effect of the focal plane being distorted at the edges. Kind of gives a miniature toy effect to everything. This makes it harder to pull focus for wides. Those shots were all in Speedway in Indianapolis, by the way. That's where I drove to pick up that embroidery machine that we were using earlier. Speedway is a sick neighborhood. Just being around where the Indy 500 is. Subjects, but when your subject is in the center of the frame, it looks pretty sick. For this first filming mission, I just went to Lowe's and then met up with someone on Facebook. That's the dashboard of the car. If you haven't seen some of my older videos, you will be introduced to the character that is my car soon. Next couple weeks for sure. But yeah, this is like headlights, brights, hazard lights, my radio controls, AC controls down there. It's all pretty ridiculous. Facebook Marketplace to buy an embroidery machine. I got this to do. There he is. Now he's here. Do some hats, but I'll talk more about that another time. It's still shocking to me. I'm also going to do like a custom grill in this video. So a headlight like this on the other side, and then I'm going to chop from like here to here and put like some metal fencing in there, something like that. From motorcycle, I remember you were talking about it a few months ago. Yep, I went and did it. At least on one. I've got the other headlight somewhere up here. But yeah, it's about time to do the other one. Get some more welding on the channel. Hell yeah, I love that lo-fi look with the old labels and switches. Yeah, me too. Just how wide the 24 to 105 can get on a crop sensor camera with this speed booster. So when I went out for my second film outing, I brought the 16 to 35 as well. This thing gets stupid wide. You can even see vignette marks at the corners of the screen from a full frame lens on a crop sensor camera.
Hell yeah.
I did some tests, and the amount of focal
As Michael
reduction I'm
shooting
getting
on-
on this speed
As Michael's shooting on film, also on the 24 to 105, funny enough.
booster is about 0.62x. To beat the APS-C crop, we only need 0.66x. So using this adapter on a crop sensor camera allows you to see more of the image circle than you would on a regular full-frame camera. Obviously with more distortion and lens flares though. So with the adapter, my 16 to 35 is more...
Yeah, you can tell in that shot how hard it is to pull focus on this thing when it was at f2.8. Because I don't know if it's exactly, if the math works out, but if it's 0.62 reduction, f2.8 times 0.62, it comes out to, I don't know, whatever that is, 2.0. So it's like, it gets super bright, and like the depth of field is super shallow, plus it's curved now because of the distortion. So it's just really hard to pull focus when it's wide open like that.
like a 10 to 22. Now you might also notice how messy and shallow the focus is on a lot of these shots. I had my...
Hey dude, found your channel recently and binged all your videos. Just want to say I like your embrace the mess project styles, and it's inspiring me to let go of my perfectionism in my own art. Hell yeah. I appreciate it. Glad I can provide that inspiration. That's what I'm trying to do. Help other perfectionists get over their perfectionism.
16 to 35 set at f2.8 all the way open, and with the compression it only gets brighter. So you can really go off the rails with the dreamy look with a set.
Reminds me of a flashback scene to a dead husband/wife in a movie.
Yeah, when me and Michael die in a house fire because I blow up our house, this will be what plays at our funeral. Up like this, but the 24 to 105 I was shooting at a more reasonable f6.3. Now, one downside to making a fully manual adapter like this is that there's no electronic control. Both of the lenses I'm using here have the aperture controlled by wire, so I have to mount them on a regular adapter, change the aperture. That guy was just like blasting Gunna off his Bluetooth speaker across the whole park. So everybody was just like trying to have a nice little date, and he's like
And
just blasting
this
Gunna.
adapter, and it's stuck
It's
there.
funny.
So my 16 to 35 was stuck wide open for this whole shoot. Since there's no electronics, there's also no lens stabilization. So when
This was a
shooting
nice
super
spot.
long, the IBIS on the camera itself sometimes doesn't cut it. But
I'm trying to find like my spot in indie because I had my go-to filming spot in Cleveland that was like nice free parking, like lots of shots to get. And I haven't found the same thing in Indy because Indy is a little more boring of a city, Indianapolis. But this spot's pretty good. Evan, do you use physical SIM cards? What does that mean? SIM card, like phone SIM cards? I think so. I mean, yeah, I got a SIM card in my phone. There's got to be a way to wire the lenses to the adapter. Yeah, you need like a whole chip. I mean, where is it? There it is. You can see in this one that's torn apart how much electronics there is inside this sucker. So it's not like a simple one-to-one pin. If you're changing mounts, there's like some stuff that needs to happen. If you were making like a macro adapter where it's literally just taking an E-mount lens and placing it further away, then you could just one-to-one the pins. But if they're different brands, there needs to be like a computer in there that translates what they're saying to each other, basically. So yeah.
for something I put together in a couple days with only stuff I had laying around, I'm actually really surprised by how good the results are. I wouldn't put this on my A-cam all the time, but for certain shots or projects where I can afford to be more diligent about focusing, I will totally use this in the future. So for a final in-studio test of this thing, here's the 24 to 105 on a regular adapter at 24. And here is exactly the same shot, same.
So this is obviously overexposed, but it's just to demonstrate, you know, how much brighter it gets. Also, it's really hard to focus on myself. Like, I was able to nail the focus in some of those shots, like the B-roll that I was showing when you're behind the camera, but when you're in front of the camera, because there's no, like, the focal plane isn't straight, it's really hard because it's not exactly like I can focus on this chair here and know that my face is going to be in focus because it's so weird. So it was hard to get
Same
the
lens,
focus.
same settings, but with the speed booster. You can really tell how much brighter it is, almost too bright now. And for an ultra wide test, here's my Sony 10 to 18, no speed booster, all the way at 10. And here's the 16 to 35 on the speed booster. So the 16 is now basically as wide as the 10. I noticed after editing those clips, the speed booster adds a slight skew.
I think in the studio where I've got like reliable lighting, the move would be to like stop everything down to F11 or something. And then I think I could get it pretty reliable. Because it kind of adds like a bokeh-ish effect anyway from the edges that like you don't need a super shallow depth of field. Is it hard to clean all the sawdust and grinding dust from your carpet? I mean, if I had a better vacuum, it would be better. But like, honestly, vacuum keeps it decent. And also I'm like grinding stuff enough that I don't care about it being 100%. At least like at the edge of the workbench, like I don't care if there's a little bit of like sawdust around here, as long as it's not in the center of the room. But yeah, vacuuming usually gets it done, which I think is from the lens being slightly out of line. That could be fixed. But do I recommend building one of these? I don't know. It's fun and it's cheap in theory, but you know, for the price, if you want usability, get a regular speed booster. But as a quirky little thing for my toolkit, I'm totally going to use this alongside my C-mount lenses. It makes my nice Canon lenses look more like the weird old dreamy C-mount lenses. And at the end of the day, you still sleep on the floor? I do. I still have a mat. I'm working on a project where I'm going to build a fold-out bed. But for now, the rollout works fine. Gives me extra square footage. I had a good time making it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the more technical video. Balling on a budget, you know? Back to absolute junk and shenanigans next week. Oh, I didn't even notice, but you can see in the background, I'm looking at the Facebook Marketplace listing for the embroidery machine that I bought. Actually, maybe this is for an adapter for the hat embroidery thing. Because yeah, actually I bought the embroidery machine that day. So the day this video came out, I filmed this. I filmed all that. And both of these film outings, so me going to grab the embroidery machine was like that afternoon. And then this was sunset the day that the video was posted. And then I went home, edited this into the rest of the video and posted. I had the video done by like 1 a.m. our time here, but then there was like a beeping noise in the export that I couldn't get to go away, and I tried on that for like, I was running new exports with different settings for like 2 hours, and then the video came out at like 3:30 a.m. because it took me so long to just keep re-exporting it, but I got the beep to go away. So yeah, all of this footage was day of the video, which I'm pretty proud of how quick that turnaround was. Evan sleeps in a coffin like Dracula. Maybe. Now I'm going to do a fold out bed soon. I want it to like fold up and become a bench. That's what I want. The metal dust can short the electronics. Always be cautious. Good point. I usually don't sand metal. I guess I did in this one. I kind of grinded down that flange a bit, but I usually just cut metal and then it's like bigger pieces, like from drilling through metal or something. So it's usually not so bad. Hope I don't leak anything on. There's no payment info here. No, we're good. I'm gonna play the Wordle and then call it. Wordle for Alex, if Alex is in the chat. Good old Wordle. We're going to start with Gator. Plain. Costcodal? What is that? I don't know that one. Wow, that was a good guess. Damn, that was a good guess. I bet I can get this in 3. Is Slade a word? What else could it be? What else could it be? What could that be? A spade? No. I think I can get it. I think I can get it in 3. KLAD. Slant. No, because we're not. I guess you guys are behind. What do the ladies think of your home decor? Depends on the lady. Hit or miss. The real test is the car. Will they get in that hunk of machinery? ML. There aren't many letters that could be the first one. I think it has to be S. It could be BLA. Oh, blade. I bet it's blade. Nope. Oh, you guys said that too. Dang, not one letter. So it's got to be SL, right? It could be CL. Clay. Claim. Clake. Slake? Is that a word? Place? But I don't have a P. Slate, but we don't have T. Careful, try a throwaway to hit as many letters that could possibly be, or you could hit the end with it. That is true. Those are not words. Those are not words. Slay. Oh, that is a word. What the heck could that be? Oh, flake. Well, we got it. Now we got to go for an easier one. Let me put you guys on to the best Wordle. Here it is. Horsel. What do you guys think? I'll let you guess. Does it even work? Oh, you have to click it. H-O-R-S-E. Oh, you say F-O-R-S-E? Yeah, let's try it. Force. Invalid word. Horse. Oh my goodness, it's horse, guys. We got it on the first try. It's just Wordle, but every word is horse. Wait, here's another good one. Here's another good one. Last one. This is the best one. The letteral. What do we think, chat? H. It's not H. T. J. L. P. M. This is the most skill-based one. You say E. We got E. S. W. U. This game's stupid. It's G. It's G. All right, that's enough screwing around for today. We made our beautiful little boy on our embroidery machine. Our beautiful little gingerbread man inscribed on a circle. I'm so proud of him and our machine. Hey, that was 2 hours and 30 minutes. Not bad. Not bad from me. I guess one last shout out at the end here to the soft launch of the membership site. If you want to support the weekly videos and such, damn, I got here a little late. Yeah, I went earlier today for the Europeans, you know. I'll be back to the regular time slot next week, but switching it up a little bit to see, you know, what's going on in other time zones and such. But yeah, shout out to the membership soft launch. If you want to help support the channel, keep things going, because I got to start making money here. Otherwise, I have to stop, probably, or slow down significantly. Links in the description. Throw me a couple bucks a month. It helps out a lot, keeping the channel going. I'll announce it officially in a video soon. But right now, there's already a couple things on there. You can watch all the videos for free. Or, well, not for free, ad-free. And eventually they'll go up there a week early. That probably won't be for another couple weeks. I got to build up more of a backlog, but the site does exist if y'all want to support.
And there will be products there too once I get that embroidery machine running, and 3D printing, STLs and stuff of all that. Ad-free and a better bit rate. True. Yeah, let me show you actually. This is what the site looks like. So last video is uploaded there. All the videos are up. So if you want to watch everything ad-free, eventually they'll be there sooner. There will be products, and if you're a member, you get discount. I listed this car as a test product, but there will be actual stuff there. So I appreciate y'all if you helping support. You know, keeps things going. We're already at like $100 a month, which I appreciate big time. I need to get to like 1,000 to just pay rent. I'm not trying to like make a ton of money off of this, just enough to you know, be able to keep going and make weekly videos for y'all and keep it free and not have to put a bunch of ads on it or whatever. So yeah, that's the goal. But you'll hear more about it on the main channel soon. I'm just kind of soft launching to the real fans that are here on the live streams and then in the Discord and stuff. OnlyFans, but it's just images of scrap wood with some paint and stuff on them. Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, maybe eventually for like a higher tier, I would like literally send you a piece of scrap wood every month or something too. But yeah, there will be more stuff there eventually. But right now, as of right now, ad-free uploads and everything. Yeah, I appreciate it. That is all for this week, I think. I guess our viewer numbers are climbing because this is my usual time slot now, but I only got 2.5 hours in me. Got to get back to work, you know. OnlyFans does sponsor mountain bike teams. It's not too far out. That's sick. I love it. New video next week for the injection molding folks. It will be a injection molding video, taking the injection molder on the road to Adepticon and running it out of the back of my car. Week after that, probably a car video, and then probably an old camera repair video, something like that, or more shelves. And then week after that, Patreon launch, big video. If you wanted to monetize your videos, I wouldn't mind. They are monetized, like ads run on them, but you only get paid like $2 to $5 depending on the length and the genre per 1,000 views. So it's like, you know, my last video did $12 probably. So did you meet Trent when you come into Australia? I did meet Trent when he was in Chicago for Adepticon. That was basically the whole video. So next week you'll see me making miniatures with him. So that'll be in next week's video, which I'm very excited about. I would love to go to Australia. If I start making money. I would love to. Maybe soon. Anyway. I keep saying I'm ending and I didn't actually end, so I should end. OMG, it's 7 months. But I'll be back to the regular time slot next week, like 6 p.m. Thursday. I just wanted to do a different time slot this week for the Europeans. Hey, oh, cutie. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to stop dilly-dallying. That's it for this week. See y'all on Tuesday for another video, and possibly on the second channel some little things going up this weekend on the second channel, Bev Man. So keep your eyes peeled. Peace, y'all.